Tonight, we are leaving the noise behind, and in the story, you will join Harvey as he drives deep into the mountains, away from the city, away from everything. You will hear the rain growing heavier on his truck, the crunch of tires on gravel, the slow setup of an old canvas tent, and then the full immersive sound of the real storm. This is a slow journey about facing old fears, about letting cold rain wash away things we have carried for too long, about finding peace where we once felt terror. No rush, no pressure, just rain. If you are ready to breathe with him, to feel the water on your skin, and to let the storm calm your mind, then close your eyes with me. This is the path of rain. The city lights had faded hours ago. Harvey drove in silence, headlights cutting through the growing dark. The highway slowly narrowed into a cracked two-lane road, then into gravel that crunched under the tires. The mountains rose ahead like silent guardians, jagged and black against the sky. The rain began as a whisper against the windshield, soft, hesitant. By the time the first tall pines appeared, it had thickened into a steady rhythm. Vipers moved back and forth, slow and tired. Harvey kept the windows cracked just enough to let the cold. He drove until the road ended in nothing but a forgotten trail. No signs, no other tire tracks, only the low hiss of the rain on leaves. Harvey killed the engine and sat for a long moment. The truck ticked as it cooled. He listened to the rain. Then he stepped out. Cold air wrapped around him like living thing. Wet pine, moss, rich earth breathing after a long sleep. Rain already beaded on his skin. He moved without hurry, every step deliberate. His boots sank into the soft ground with a quiet suck. From the back of the truck, Harvey pulled the old olive canvas tent. It smelled of the past campfires, wood smoke, and many quiet nights. He slung the heavy poles over one shoulder and carried the stake in his other hand. Walking deeper into the woods, as the rain soaked through his jacket, he found the perfect clearing beside the stream. Black stone glistened under the water. The current rushed fast and low, a constant soothing roar. Tall trees stood guard on every side. Harvey worked slowly in the downpour. He drove the metal stakes deep into the wet earth, each strike echoing softly. He pulled the ropes tight, one by one. The thick canvas stretched and settled with a heavy sigh. Rain drummed across the roof in slow, living heartbeat. He stepped inside, zipped the flap, and sat on the thin sleeping mat in total darkness. Only the small clear plastic window glowed a soft grey. Raindrops traced slow, wandering paths down the plastic. Harvey watched each one. The sound began to pull something loose inside him. Flashes came. A small boy under a shaky kitchen table. Lights gone. The whole house trembling. Rain roaring outside like it wanted to swallow. Rain roaring outside like it wanted to swallow the world. His father shouting into the storm, fighting to clear a blocked drain as floodwater rose. The old oak in the yard cracking, then falling with a sound Harvey never forgot. He breathed out, long and slow. The memory pressed behind his ribs, but did not speak. It only waited. Outside, the storm grew stronger. Wind pushed hard against the tent walls. Canvas creaked and strained. The trees above groaned. Harvey's heart answered, beating faster. The old panic rose in his throat like cold water. He could still leave, run back to the truck, back to the city's concrete walls and bright lights, back to pretending rain could never touch him again. Instead, Harvey stood. He unzipped the flap. The cold hit like a wall. The cold hit like a wall of needles, no jacket. Grey shirt instantly drenched and cling. He walked to the center of the clearing and stopped under the dark canopy. Rain poured over Harvey's head. It streamed down his face, into his eyes, filling his mouth with cold, clean taste. Freezing, sharp, alive. It soaked every layer until he felt the weight of his own clothes pulling on his shoulders. He didn't move. He simply stood there, letting it soak through the skin and memory. The boy under the table, the man standing here, same heartbeat, same rain falling after 20 years. Minutes stretched, maybe an hour. Harvey's shoulders slowly dropped. His jaw loosened. His face unclenched. The panic didn't vanish. It simply got wet, cold, and quiet. The rain washed over him until the difference between tears and storm disappeared. He walked to the edge of the stream. The water had risen, brown and wild, rushing over stones. Harvey knelt, He plunged both hands deep into the current, numb fingers, burning cold that traveled up his arms. He stayed until his whole body trembled. Then he stood. Let the rain wash his face clean again and again. He breathed deep, chest rising and falling, until the heavy thing that had lived behind his ribs for so long finally loosened and slipped away downstream. Harvey returned to the tent. He peeled off the heavy, dripping clothes, the fabric clinging and reluctant. He wrapped himself in a thick wool blanket that smelled of home and old fires. He lit the small spirit stove. The blue flame hissed softly. Water boiled. Steam rose in a lazy curls as he made a cup of strong black tea. The warmth spread through his hands, then his chest. The rain on the canvas had changed its voice, no longer a threat, just a deep, ancient, steady, endless. He lay down. The wool felt like an embrace. Sleep came gently, pulling him under, deep and dreamless, except for soft images of white mist moving through green growing things. When Harvey woke, the rain had stopped. Soft morning lights filtered through the wet leaves. Every branch and needle held a trembling room. Every branch and needle held a trembling diamond of water. The stream ran clear again, singing a bright, quick song over the stones. Somewhere nearby, a bird called, clean and new. Harvey back with his same slow rhythm. His shoulders felt lighter. The air tasted sweeter. He looked back at the clearing once. Only a small circle of pressed grass remained, nothing less. He drove with the windows all the way down. Damp wind rushed through the cabin, carrying the scent of pine and wet earth. In a small mountain town, he stopped at the old hardware store. He bought a small bag of oak seeds and a bottle of water. Later on the cliff, where the old house once stood, Harvey knelt in the wet grass. The field stretched out below, tall and green. He dug with his bare hands, soil dark and rich under his nails. He placed the seeds carefully, covered them, and pressed the earth gently over top. Grow, Harvey whispered. His voice was low and steady, the first word he had spoken in days. Far out at sea, new dark clouds were already gathering on the horizon. Another storm was coming. Harvey stood tall. No cover, no rush, no mask. He simply waited, eyes on the horizon. As the first cool breeze picked up, the first new drop began to fall. Ready.